Welcome back, guys. So today is the day you guys been waiting for. Today is the day I've been waiting for. Today I have on hand the new AtomX cast that I've been talking about for a while now. Now I did have it before. I did return it. It's been too long, so I'm kind of glad I did. But now I got a whole new version of it, and we're going to install everything on it to see how it works and perhaps answer many questions that you guys may have. So here, an unopened version of the AtomX cast. So let's get this thing rolling. Find out what we got. Brand new cast. As you guys can see right here. Good enough for me. All right, just like before, unveil, I guess. There we go. It comes with the USB-C again and the little handle for the mini drives that you can put onto it so you can actually get it to work properly. The cast itself and the manual. We have all of that. The manual we keep in there. I'm gonna put this away. So the only other thing I know I need is the charger for the Ninja 5. The charger for the Ninja 5 is what's required for you to run this device. I'm also going to download the driver, which I'm going to do right now as well. So I'm back. It's been a day since I stopped doing the video because I needed to stop and actually get my hands on this and go through the menu and everything and find out exactly what it is that I'm dealing with. Two things I found out for sure that you do need for you to get a proper experience with the AtomX cast. One of them is to make sure you install the firmware on the actual AtomX cast. You gotta install it, put it together, put the drive in, and then do the firmware upgrade that way. If you do it otherwise, it will not work. You'll have a problem with this giving you invalid module attached to this device. Once you do so, you'll have a very nice experience, and this device is actually much nicer than I thought. I know I've been harsh on it, and that has nothing to do with the actual device. It has to do with the company, but the device itself is real good. I will go in detail in a follow-up video where I'll dive into the whole system and show you guys how it works. The one thing you'll realize is the fact that the menu has a new tab, and that's the source tab. That source tab is the way to get into the Ninja, the way to get into the cast, the way to get into any other module that you may have attached to the Ninja. There are 3 settings to choose from in the source tab now. You have your HDMI, AtomX, SDI, and AtomX cast. You gotta remember that the main thing here is the Ninja 5. Everything else is an accessory. Without the Ninja 5, nothing works. So the source tab gives you 3 settings for you to select how you want the Ninja 5 to interact with the modules. Each one of them will have a different experience. As usual, you have your HDMI, that's for just normal setting when you're using the Ninja by itself. And then you have your AtomX SDI, and that's when you have the SDI module attached to this, so you can record RAW also with that one. And your AtomX cast, which I have set up to right now. That setting will allow you to interact with the AtomX cast and use it as a switch, use it as a live feature, use it as a recorder, whatever it may be. This is how you enter the AtomX cast, and this is how you access the features. As we know, this device only accepts 4 HDMI inputs. All the inputs will default automatically to 29.973 regardless of FPS and resolution. So if you have 4K, at least in what I've tested, this device will downsample it to 1080 30p or 29.97p, I guess, yeah. This thing can only output 29.73 out of the cast output, USB-C output, and you have the option of putting 60p out of the Ninja 5 itself. Let's move on to the output tab. The output tab is how you manage all your external devices, how you want them to receive the signal out of the AtomX cast. That you can change here, but the only one you can change is the output out of the Ninja 5. All the other ones are defaulted and set to 29.973. But if you're using this device to only record, then you can change all the settings here to 60p or 59 point something p. You can do that just for recording purposes. Once you go live, you're limited to 30p. Now we go to the overlay tab. The overlay tab, as you guys can tell right now, it has 8 different spots, 8 different slots for you to actually input photos, all of them in PNG. You have all those options, and all those options can be preset to the buttons here at the bottom, but you're not limited to that if those photos are still available within your drive. If they're still in your drive, you can switch it on the go, whether you're live or you're recording. Then you have your picture-in-picture. That's where you can set your camera to which corner you want it to be, your additional cameras. And the picture-in-picture can be moved all around, regardless whether you're in live mode, record mode, and whatnot. If you want to actually capture what's happening here, you need to connect it to your computer and use OBS. If you're cutting between cameras, all those cuts will be recorded. The AtomX cast cannot record isolated video feeds. So when it's recording, regardless of how many cameras you have set up to this device, it can only record what you can see in the program view. The switcher tab is the one that's more customizable, and that's where probably you're gonna be at most of the time when you want to do quick adjustments to the Ninja while live or when you're recording. You can have some minor tweaks being done here. For example, since everything is touchscreen as well, you can do 2 touches or 1 touch to switch between cameras. So you can do 2 touch if you want to pre-select and have it ready to go, or if you just want to touch and go, then you just select it to that, you just touch it, it says 1 touch. And also the Ninja 5 output, you can also switch it out to whatever you want it to be, whether you want it to be multi-view, program, preview mode, or whatnot. The preview mode, I would say, becomes extremely handy if you have overlays, because you can preview what photo is going to go on before it actually goes live. As your effect, you can preview to see that that's the right one that you're choosing. And then you have your fader color, and you can switch that from white to black only. So it will do a fade in and a fade out. So if you want to use all those features, all of that is here on the switcher tab. It's perhaps the one you'll be using the most if you want to do minor adjustments. And then you have your record button. When you are recording, you can only limit it to ProRes and DNX HD. That's it. If you want to record in H.265 or RAW, that's not available. That was just an overview of the menu for you guys to be acquainted with. There's more to this thing, and that is the actual switch portion of the device. As you guys can see on the screen here, the screen itself, when you're recording or you're about to record, it has 3 buttons here on the side. You got your fade in, your fade out, and then you have here your multi-view tab. Your multi-view tab, if you have multi-camera set up to this, you can just switch between any one of them, and whatever you choose, since I have it set up to 1 touch right now, as soon as you click to one of those, it will go to that. Then you have F1 through F4. Each one of those buttons have specific settings attached to them. And as you can see on the switch itself, they're meant for picture-in-picture, audio, overlays, and switcher. F4 is for switcher, F3 is for overlays, F2 is for audio, and F1 is for picture-in-picture. Each time you press one of the F buttons, it changes the functionality of the big buttons here in the middle. And that's because whatever it is you thought it would do as far as selecting your camera source, it will not do that anymore. So let's say you're in picture-in-picture, and every time you switch to another button, it will change the little box's picture. So if it's camera 1, 2, or 3, or 4, if your big source is camera 1, then the little box will become either 2, 3, or 4. So that's what it does. And the same thing, now it's obvious, that's for the audio. When you're in audio mode, you can select the source to be any of the inputs, whether it be camera 1, 2, or 3, or 4, but you can also select it to be the input of the Ninja. The Ninja input, which is called mic line in, you can select it to be that, or you can select camera follow or audio follow for that matter. What that means is that every time you switch out of the cameras to a different camera, it will get the audio from that particular camera to be recorded in this or to be fed out. All those features and what it is you want it to do, it's here in the audio section as soon as you press menu tab. Thus far, I gotta say that based upon what it can do, how big it is, how compact it is, how well it works with the Ninja, this is a no-brainer, must-have for anybody that wants to record something, has events, that wants to switch between cameras, or something of that nature. This switch will do the job. Just remember, regardless that you're limited to 30p, you can go up to 60. If you want to use the Ninja's HDMI out, that's when you'll get 60p. Other than that, you're limited to 30 regardless of how you want to do it. Overall, this device is quite nice. It's been thought out completely from the ground up. And the fact that it had a delay, well, after seeing what it can or it cannot do, I really appreciate what features are available in this device. To see exactly what it is that this device can do, watch my follow-up video to this where I'll go in depth into each one of these sections and how everything works going live with OBS. And if you guys do not mind, click the thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you haven't. So until then, see ya. Take care.